Chief of Bureau 𝐼𝐸𝐺 Das joins us live from the newsroom, and also we have our correspondent from Imphal, 𝐁𝐢𝐠 𝐃𝐞𝐯𝐞𝐥𝐨𝐩, joining us to give us more updates regarding the big development coming in from Manipur. Well, 𝐼𝐸𝐺, now first coming to you, as ATSUM is set to intensify the agitation, and protest demanding the release of ATSUM leaders has turned violent in Imphal. So 𝐼𝐸𝐺, now what is your take on the entire development?
Yeah, the situation right now in Manipur, particularly in the hill areas, remains tense following this development regarding the ADC bill. It initially started with a simple demand for the tabling of the ADC bill in the Manipur Assembly, and which subsequently went ahead with the arrest of 5 ATSUM leaders. And after that, there was a 24-hour shutdown called by ATSUM in the hill areas. And after the arrest of the ATSUM leaders, this has now been dragged to an indefinite strike, that is, they have called it as an economic blockade. So situation right now in Manipur, particularly in the hill areas, remains tense. We have witnessed violence taking place today. We have witnessed protest taking place in Manipur, in the heart of Imphal today, where student groups came out, they clashed with the police, there was tear gas shelling, there was lathi charge in which over 30 students got injured. And also on the hill areas, we have seen that there is a arsoning of vehicles that is taking place. Even as we are speaking, we have got reports that a short while ago 2 vehicles were torched in the Churachandpur areas. Earlier in the day, 1 more vehicle was torched in Bishnupur area. So right now the tension is escalating in Manipur, particularly in the hill district, over the demand for the ADC bill. So the bill, the ATSUM demanded that the bill should be tabled in this assembly session in Manipur Assembly, and yesterday was the last day of the session, but the government brought in 2 bills. They tabled 2 bills, but according to ATSUM, nowhere the demand of the ADC bill were addressed in these 2 bills. Hence they have intensified their agitation. In fact, they have called all other hill district organizations to come forward and meet up and take a resolution, or what steps they would take ahead to intensify the agitation. But right now, as I have mentioned, that it was initially just the demand for the tabling of the ADC bill in the Manipur Assembly, which subsequently went to with the arrest of 5 ATSUM leaders, and after that there was a 24-hour shutdown on Thursday, which now has been dragged, and it's now an economic blockade. Now let me tell you that we have witnessed economic blockades in Manipur earlier also. Sometimes it went more than 100 days, and where we have seen that during those economic blockades, the price of domestic cooking gas cylinder went up as high as 5,000 rupees per cylinder. Not to speak about the fuel like diesel and petrol, which used to be sold at around 500 to 600 per liter. So how is the government right now tackling the entire situation? How is the government anticipating the entire scenario which is developing because of this ATSUM protest?
All right. 𝐼𝐸𝐺, we also have our correspondent 𝐁𝐢𝐠 joining us from Imphal. So he will be the best person to tell us about the situation there. 𝐼𝐸𝐺, over to you.
Well, Sharath, as I have mentioned that it was initially a simple demand for the tabling of the ADC bill in the Manipur Assembly, which subsequently went ahead with the arrest of the ATSUM leaders, and after that it was a 24-hour shutdown, and right now it has been dragged to an economic blockade. So how is the situation on ground in whole of Manipur, particularly in hill areas?
Yeah, 𝐼𝐸𝐺, you mentioned that this particularly in hill areas of Manipur, the situation is tense. You have rightly mentioned that, and also this ATSUM demand, all tribal and student union Manipur, demanding to table the Hill Area Committee Autonomous District Council Bill 2021. Now you see, yesterday, that is 5th August, the session have already been ended, and the demand is not being fulfilled at the floor of the House. Yes, this in this ongoing that ended yesterday, the bill, this Autonomous District Council bill has been tabled so far as Schedule 6 and Schedule 7 is concerned. But the ATSUM is just clearly pointed out that this bill have this overlooked the recommendation given by the Hill Area Committee in the year 2021. So that is why ATSUM is not happy. At the same time, the arrested of this five executive member of this ATSUM again trigger this economic blockade. Yes, you have rightly mentioned that the 24 total shutdown in the hill area in the hill areas of Manipur now continue as the economic blockade starting from that 5th August 6 a.m. So now this due to in case this economic blockade goes for longer, then yes, it will impact the this supply chain of these essential commodities. And yes, in case economic blockade goes for long, then the essential commodities price will also up Arindam.
Well, Sharath, how is the government anticipating the situation to control the law and order scenario? Because we have seen that the situation is right now spiraling out of control. There is the hill valley rift is widening right now, and the clashes are right now starting in the hill valley aspect. So how is the government dealing with the law and order situation, and what steps will be taken in the due course of time?
Yeah, well, Arindam, you see, it remains to be seen that how this present government will come up with one formula so that this agitation by this ATSUM can be resolved. It remains to be seen, Arindam. And at the same time, you see, yes, international highway economic blockade has already been begun from yesterday 6 a.m. But at the same time, we also can witness the agitation, this protest from the student community. Today in the Adimjati complex, there was a protest, and yes, police resorted to the tear gas shell and lathi charge to disperse the student protester. But yes, situation here you see, not only in the hill areas, in the Imphal area also, it becoming tense day by day. At the same time, the ATSUM have already been decided to have a meeting with the civil society organization of the all tribal tribal civil society organization. At the same time, they are also going to draw the opinion from the intellectual of the tribal community. So I think on Monday they are going to have a meet, and in the meeting I think some concrete resolution will be taken. At the same time, it also remains to be seen how the state government trying to resolve the issue, Arindam.
Well, Sharath, lastly, how is the government looking forward to ensure that the supply chain of essential commodities remains open, so that there is no crisis of essential commodities or the fuel supply or cooking gas supply in the whole of Manipur? Because earlier we have seen that economic blockade had lasted for more than 100 days, where there was crisis of all the essential commodities. The prices of cylinders have gone up to 5,000 per cylinder, not to speak about the fuel prices, 500, 600 per liter. So how is the government dealing with this situation right now?
Yes, Arindam, you see, in case the national highway, this economic blockade goes for long, then it will have this very affect normalcy in Manipur so far as essential commodities is concerned. Yes, essential commodities can be stocked for couple of weeks, but otherwise, in case this economic blockade goes for long, then the essential commodities supply chain will disturb. And yes, definitely, as we have witnessed earlier also, economic blockade will give a very negative impact to the supply chain. At the same time, I think government, in case this economic blockade goes for long, then government probably will provide the security so that the supply chain can resume on the national highways, Arindam.
Well, thank you, Sharath.